It's a science experiment where they bring 10 people in a room and have them stand up and sit down. And as those 10 people are in there, they slowly one by one remove one person without explaining to them that this is an experiment. We want you to stand up and sit down. As they replace them, the new people come in and they observe the other people standing up and sitting down. They feel like something is wrong with me, so they begin to stand up and sit down.
Oh yeah, I seen
By
that.
the by the end of that experiment, they replaced all the original people, and everyone is standing up and sitting down to the buzzer as the people who was told to do it. They don't know the reason; they're just doing it. I think we've created a situation like that. Because what do you think, honestly, Sweeney? If you were 18 and you get into this algorithm loop and you start to consume, by 27, what is your general worldview on relationships, women, and what do you think the end result of that is?
It depends because I can't discount their real world experience. Because if their life is confirming what they read and what they see, or does their life disprove what they live and what they read and what they see? That's what I mean by that. Because if they real world life experience is showing them exactly what they're seeing on TV, then I would assume that they would confirm their bias. Now there is a group of people who sit in the like this is under the assumption that people are getting out. Like you go out and experience real people in the world. Now we're just talking about a bunch of people that sit in front of their TV screens and don't actually go out and experience the world. Then yeah, I think you will be warped. I think you will have a very, very linear mindset on how the world is through the lens of the internet.
I think it's
And
kind of
remember,
like
more people are
TV.
working remote nowadays than ever
Yeah,
before, too. So let's
yeah,
remember that. More people are working remote, more people are working from home. People aren't out in the office or out in those places as often as they used to be. They're not around their coworkers and that kind of stuff as often as they used to be before. So it's making it even worse.
right.
We
I
have
was
we
gonna say
have social.
confirm the I'm sorry, Mark. I was gonna say the kind of just want to be quick. Confirm the what you said. I forgot the actual term that you use, but you can say, hey, look for red cars when you go out. Of course, you're gonna see red cars when you go out. But if
Mhm.
nobody never told you about look for red cars, and they ask you as soon as you got to your place how many red cars you seen, you're not gonna know the answer to that. So I think it's more on the lines of, hey, I'm telling you all this negative stuff, and then as soon as you see one negative thing, got it. Confirmation bias. Good, got
Fair.
you. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's more of that going on rather than us paying attention to the good women that are out here because they out here mingling in too as well. But we focusing on getting our body count up, getting the experience like we was talking about earlier, rather than trying to secure that good woman. That's going to be more beneficial than getting that experience.
But I think that's because we're giving people conflicting information. Because I think when we talk about, eh, never mind. Go ahead, Jer.
No, I was just gonna probably say I think it's. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess it's different for me, and I try to be a little sensitive to the people that are consuming. So I guess if you never go out, you never experience people, and you watch like whatever it is that you're watching, then you may think that that's truth. But I listen to everything, and I still have my own mind. I still make my own decisions. I don't let things influence me. It has to logically make sense. And if you hear something and you're like, that's kind of interesting, you can always test it to see if it works. And then if you test it and it works, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess to make a point. And I think it is some truth into what people are saying, but I just think you just can't take everything at face value. It has to be beneficial to the world that I'm living. So anybody can say anything, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be ace to me. Now, if you say something and it just you might be on to something, like, you know what, let me try it because I've done it. I've tried some things that I may have heard. I've learned some things that don't necessarily have to do with dating, but just even from like a lot of the married men and how they carry themselves, having good character, integrity, just being straight up honest with women. Like these are things that I've learned just by having these conversations. So I always look for the good. I don't never listen to like the negative because if it like I know right from wrong and I know when some shit is some bullshit. And if it sounds like some bullshit to me, then I'm just gonna just like But then if you want to be, it all depends on your mindset too. The mindset is important because if you do want to be on that type of time, then you can take some of that advice and you can apply it to that time. But it's just information. I'm fascinated with getting a lot of information. I like to collect everything and then make the decision instead of just operating off of impulse. If I don't have to.
Yeah.
And I always say that there are some times that you have to be impulsive. If a car comes swerving over, you gotta move. If you see somebody coming towards you with a gun, you gotta be able to know what to do in those situations. But I like to slow everything down to a tempo that's comfortable for me. And I don't have nobody to force me to do anything. I was always the person to kind of go left. It don't matter the situation. I've been in situations where majority of people was doing this, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I have my own reasons. I may have to explain it to anybody, but I just operate on my own time.
JR, for that, I feel like that's something that you have to make a conscious effort to do. It's definitely exactly what we should be doing. But if you're not thinking about it, it's so easy to fall into these echo chambers, right? So, for instance, I dare anybody to try this challenge. Just start talking about airplane tickets, right? Just talk about them. Just keep talking about airplane tickets. I bet you it pop up on your Instagram feed. I bet you. Like, these apps know so much about you, right? They know your location. Anytime we go to these things and then we just hit agree so we could use it, they know they got you on lock now. All of these companies, whether you call it Google, whether you call it Facebook, right? All advertisement companies. That's what they are. That's their primary function. If you look up what they are, their primary function is advertisement companies. They found different ways to suck you in, pause, but the ultimate goal is for you to go ahead and spend your money on whoever pays the most for advertising. If you notice how Google is by itself, right? And then you look for something, the first thing that pops up now is shopping. Not what you wanted, but somewhere to shop. Even if you search specifically for images now, it'll show you an image of something that you can buy on Amazon. And I'm like, stop. It's getting worse. It's getting to the point right now where I almost want to use a different search engine, right? So they understand that, okay, this guy looked up this. Now I'm going to give him something else. Just like that. And then now you're like, oh, okay, damn, this is kind of saying something else that I was interested in. But then now they start looking at people who watch those things, right? And they're going to send it to everybody who watches things like that. So you're going to keep getting that confirmation bias like we were talking about. You can't get out of it because everybody's saying the same thing, but they know what videos are the same. Once YouTube gets you in a successful bucket, that's what they do. They get content creators and they'll put all of the people together, and then they'll have all the people who watch them because your people watch this. Oh, he probably gonna like this. So you'll never even know the other side of it. A lot of people don't understand that their Twitter feed looks way different than mine. A lot of people's different things come up. Politics. Some people only technology. Some people only adult. Flicks come up. But it all depends on what you started looking at. And once they realize that you like something, they're going to keep pushing it to you. And they'll make a maniac out of you just because you're going to be fed the same thing over and over and over as long as you engage with it. So it's so easy to get an idea. If you'll make a conscious effort to really to snap out of it and just really try to think for yourself and make your own decisions and realize what's happening to you, it's very easy for you to just go into a rabbit hole and it's endless and you'll just be in these echo chambers and they could feed you any particular idea, be on that side after a while.